Welcome back to the Crypto is Key conversation. So obviously there was a lot of chaos that's happened, and BC Backer was hitting on it pretty tough yesterday and this morning with his video that he had put out, kind of comparing, the FTX collapse to kind of what happened within like the past 24 hours. But it was like within like, I think he said like a 5-minute moment or something like that. I forgot what the exact number was on the chart, but it was something very fast. So he goes, FTX was 875 million for context. So Roger Gruber says 1 billion, right? Yeah. 1 billion liquidated from the crypto market in the past 24 hours. So, hey, there's so much FUD, fear, chaos, compounding negative things just stacking on themselves. Clearly, there's a lot of this narrative and all this negativity being pushed. Why do you think that is? You got to really open your eyes and your ears and get that brain fired up. What do you think's going to happen? All these TA guys and people that are dialing in, from the fundamentals behind things, and they're comparing it to, the regular stock market. Things are starting to shape up for something massive to happen. Yeah, we could see more downside, but we're talking about moving on into the future, weeks, months, from now. What does this thing really look like while we're in this moment of fear, almost extreme fear? Coming over here, look at this. Bitcoin sitting at 26,000, XRP sitting at 50 cents. Ethereum sitting at 1662. So, there's a lot happening. So this is pretty telling, man. It's way more massive and I think it was in a more rapid standpoint than, when FTX had dropped. I think that's what BC Backer was talking about. He's like, it was mind boggling how fast and how dramatic it was. It's crazy, man. Even with that though, I think he was saying something about like, Bitcoin holding certain supports that proved to be pretty pivotal, but we'll see. I wanted to touch on this from Truth Labs. Say, hey, I just think it's interesting to kind of hear this sleuth kind of, do their investigation and they kind of report on certain things. Not saying that this is completely accurate, but based on the information that we found in the XRP community, it aligns to what we're kind of thinking. So Truth Lab says, I spent the last 48 hours sleuthing the Ethereum Foundation's wallets along with the original Kraken exchanges to deposit and withdraw addresses. What I unlocked was the evidence I need to easily show that the CCP, China, is behind Ethereum, and that some of the original Ethereum devs and the foundation have been rugging their own ecosystem to keep it liquid and from crashing. They set up and funded the original exchanges, market makers, protocols to create the illusion of a thriving ecosystem. All so the CCP and the minority greedy developers could launder PPP funds while stealing every ounce of wealth they could possibly do without blowing their cover. Their time is up. So he had put up this, or they, I don't even know who it is, but it says, for those of you that have built this bridge to truth with me, recognize any names? These are the top inbound and outbound wallets to the Ethereum Foundation. So let me go ahead and not zoom in. Let me click in this. So yeah, you got Genesis Block, Consensus, Ling Ling, Multi-Chain, Genesis Block, Kraken, Kraken Deployer, China Group, Pre-Angel, Ling Ling, Multi-Chain, Shapeshift, Genesis Block, Gemini Exchange, Huobi, Sex.io, Wang Chang, Ethereum Foundation. There's a lot of stuff here. Way in over my head, but I hope they keep sleuthing and they keep looking into stuff, because this is stuff we've been talking about. We know that there's companies out there that could go in and find the information right now, no problem. But there's some powerful people and there's some things happening that won't happen. And the crazy thing is DAI is covering it, and he goes, it's not just Prometheum, it's Ethereum itself. Warren Davidson, Patrick McHenry, like, why aren't they even, bringing it up? Why isn't there any discussions about it? Why aren't people asking the hard questions when it comes to mainstream media? That's what's so infuriating, and why the community gets so frustrated by it. You're quick to jump on the likes of, Ripple and XRP and, Dragon Chain and all these other, and I'm not saying the congressmen, but I'm saying like the SEC and these regulators are quick to try to jump on other things, but they will not address hashtag ETHGate stuff. They won't touch it. It's crazy. Continuing. Truth Labs Born Slew says, why isn't Ethereum addressing China, Prometheum, and its Wang Chain backing? It's been 8 years. Why aren't the media, including Web3, holding them accountable and even asking these questions? Literally, it's what I just said. It's real. It's crazy. Transitioning, obviously, the whole CBDC narrative, it's a real thing. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. it's happening. The building's happening. So obviously you have, certain congressmen that think it's evil, and obviously it can be used for evil, but then again, it could be useful and innovative and make life easier. It can bring a lot of benefits to our world today, but the negative side is being highlighted too much. DAI says all these companies are evil according to Warren Davidson, but he has no problem with hashtag ETHgate. He refuses to call for an investigation of him or any of their circumstances around it. And then that's literally what we just talked about. It's like you're quick to bash all these things and talk about these things and act as if like you're, the good guy, right? Which, yeah, from what we've seen, he seems like a good guy, but to push this negative narrative as if like there can't be good, create some policies and some frameworks and some rules to make it illegal to do the bad things, right? And then push the narrative of the good. But no, it's evil, right? That's all that's being said. It's crazy. It's happening though. But you won't open an investigation, let alone look into hashtag ETHgate. I mean, who knows? Maybe they are building an investigation in the background and we don't know. But man, we haven't seen anything. So all we can do is speculate based on the facts that we have now. Transition here. Obviously, we covered yesterday, James K. Fallon talking about Ripple's filed its opposition to the SEC's anticipated motion for leave to file an interlocutory appeal. Stu Alderati, Ripple's general counsel, says, "We oppose SEC's request for an interlocutory appeal. There was no extraordinary circumstance here that would justify departing from the rule requiring all issues as to all parties to be resolved before an appeal." Brad Gollenhouse says, "Reminder, the request for appeal, even if granted, doesn't change the fact that XRP is not a security." That's very important because there's been a lot of negativity FUD campaigns that's been coming out and FUD articles that are trying to sensationalize, SEC's going to appeal the status of XRP. And it's like, no, that's false. It's not even in discussion. It's unappealable. So XRP is not a security. That's not up for debate or trial. But the SEC continues to claim that Chris and I acted recklessly in believing that XRP is not a security. That's utter nonsense. He continues, the judge's July 13th ruling said that the SEC would put to their proofs at trial regarding their claim against Chris and me. We look forward to proving the SEC wrong as a matter of fact and law. The SEC is going to get decimated. It's just there. It's crazy. And then James K. Fallon had put this out. It says the SEC has filed this motion to certify interlocutory appeal. So it's showtime. Okay. David Schwartz responded to Clayton here. Clayton says, James, if Judge Torres denies this, does the SEC have the option to appeal it after the fact to appellate courts? And then David Schwartz has said, yes, a party that loses on any claim or issue in their suit is entitled to appeal in adverse rulings at the conclusion of the suit. The SEC is asking for permission to appeal here because the suit is not complete yet for any party. You can see why there would be a rule like this. There are lots of little rulings all through a court case, and an appeal typically takes at least a year. If each ruling were appealed by the losing side as it happened, you'd either have to pause the original case for every year or for a year every time a party appealed, making it take forever, or you'd have lots of overlapping appeals both sides would have to deal with as the actual case is still going. So we encourage either or both sides to appeal all adverse rulings at the conclusion of the case. That is the normal rule, and then all appeals can be handled at one time. But there is an exception for unusual cases, and SEC is arguing that this is one of those unusual cases where an exception should be made and the regular proceedings should stop until the appeal is complete. Ripple is arguing there should be no exception made, and Brad and Chris are arguing that even if the court grants SEC the right to appeal, the case should still continue and the appeal should run in parallel. Yeah, their name has been dragged through the dirt, and when I say them, meaning Brad and Chris, Brad Gollenhouse and Chris Larson, like their name has been and their reputation have been dragged through the dirt because of the SEC's outlandish accusations, on them. And there's no fraud. There's nothing of fraud in here. So of course they're like, dude, we've been almost in a 3-year litigation. Like, no, we're not going to pause this. We need to proceed forward. And yeah, rightly so. Ashley Prosper hits something on the head. He goes, I would hope Judge Torres denies an interlocutory appeal for the SEC. However, if she grants the appeal, I expect the SEC to lose big time with the Second Circuit. And I personally look forward to that day. There is no storm that we can't weather. We are the holders of XRP. hands down. Well, I mean, that's been quite evident. The XRP army is the most solid army, and most solid army within the crypto community. Okay, remember, we're all on the same team. I don't want that to come off as if like, oh, XRP army is better than everybody. It's like, no, we just happened to fight the good fight, and we were standing alone for a while. That's okay though, because we're good. Crypto Law US is responding to the fake news. Just in, SEC files motion to appeal the ruling that XRP is not a security. No, false. The SEC is not appealing that XRP is not a security. JD hits another one over here. Bloomberg, the SEC asks federal judge for permission to appeal her ruling that Ripple Labs XRP token is not a security when sold to general public. JD says, my gosh, the misinformation that gets pushed is insane. Yeah, it's false. It's not appealable. It's not up for discussion. Just in, SEC files motion to appeal the ruling XRP is not a security. BC Bagger says, why must we continue this misleading headline? XRP is not a security. The fact cannot be appealed. They are appealing other aspects of the ruling, which we just covered. But this is that whole narrative shift, right? There's a lot of negativity, blood in the streets, chaos, markets going down, digital assets value going down. So of course they're gonna start piling on this stuff, right? Get more of the herd all the sheep, all the little sheep, right? That's how they see us. Herding us all into one little corner while they do something else, right? Nah, not me. Me personally, nah. I wish I had more to accumulate, more capital to accumulate more with. Crypto on JD says, fact check. The SEC is not appealing the fact that XRP token is not a security. Here is the black and white from their brief today. It says, and the SEC does not seek appellate review of any holding related to the fact that the underlying assets here are nothing but computer code with no inherent value. Boom. Done and done. Look, Eleanor Cherry put it up too. She goes, the interesting that even the SEC is accepting digital assets themselves aren't inherently securities. And then DAI says, this is why JD showed up in the first place. The SEC knew full and well XRP was not inherently a security. Yeah, and they went and dropped the lawsuit anyways. Dirtbags. Anyways, man, it's been a long day teaching, building rapport with students, beginning of the school year stuff. Got a good group of students that I'm working with. Got to get them out of their shells a little bit, get them talking and expressing themselves and trying to build that camaraderie and, that group work and good teamwork stuff in the class, man. So it's been a long week trying to get them out of their shells. But, man, I've been talking a lot today. I've been having cotton mouth this entire video. Man, but I hope all of you are doing well out there, man. There's just a lot of negativities. It's par for the course. It's kind of how this space is. So if this is your first rodeo, hey, welcome to the show. Listen to, channels like myself that, speak from experience and, positivity and, share from my own experience and just let you know, like, hey, these are the ebbs and flows of the market. You got to do your education. Be very diligent in your investment strategy. Make sure you hold true to your investment strategy and your profit-taking strategies, because that's going to save your mental when you're going through the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs of this market. That's what I have for you, though. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at CryptoSKey1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.